But let's start with a quick question. Show of hands, how many of you recognize this man? Okay, I see one hand and I see no other hands. Well, this man is the reason why I'm speaking today. This man is the reason why I chose this topic. But before we speak about him, I think it's necessary that you guys know a little bit about me. My name is Pranav Liju. I'm 20 years old. At the age of 16, I started my first company in influencer marketing and creator economy. I worked with 70 plus global brands, including Netflix, MTV, Tinder, and a bunch of other folks. Ran that for 2.5 years and then wanted something more. So I got into education. Consulted for some of the biggest edtechs in India in product and marketing. And last year, I launched my own education firm called CASESTUDY, where we are trying to revolutionize business education in India. And we are partnered with some of the best colleges around India and have trained 10,000 plus students. But that's just the journey. And that journey over the past 5 to 6 years has put me in rooms that I shouldn't have been in. Put me in rooms where there is no potential for a 16, 17, 18 or 20-year-old to be in, because these are the rooms with celebrities, influencers, founders, CEOs, investors, multi-billionaires. People that you consider at this peak of performance. People that we say are high performers. Or some of us say they are the lucky ones. Or some of us say they are Sharma ji ka beta. And whenever I meet these people, I always wonder what makes them special. What makes them unique, and why is opportunity always knocking on their door? So just like a naive 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, I went around asking. So I asked. Every single startup founder I found, I asked questions. Every single investor I found, I asked questions. In fact, I asked Piyush Pandey questions. I asked multi-billionaires questions. And I tried to understand what makes these people unique. Some of them were very kind enough to answer these questions. And in fact, some of them were even more kind enough to take me under their wings and mentor me. So during this process of getting to know some of the highest performing individuals in our country, I realized something. I realized that there is a pattern that exists. Irrespective of the field you're from, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your background, irrespective of which college you studied or whether you studied at all, every single high-performing individual I came across showed few characteristics. And me being me, decided to build a framework around it. And I call this framework DOORS. DOORS. It's an acronym. It's a clever wordplay, when opportunity knocks. Yeah? Well, I must be honest, this is not something I invented. In fact, once I explain DOORS for you, you will see that every single successful individual that you aspire to be, or someone that you know, consciously or unconsciously follow the same framework. So let's start with D. D stands for decide without permission. 5 years ago, this was very hard for me to wrap my head around. But now I can say that nobody is going to give you the permission to succeed. Nobody is going to give you the permission to start a company. Nobody is going to give you the permission to create. Nobody is going to give you the permission to be ambitious. But yet we are stuck in this permission paralysis. We are stuck chasing external validation. Oh, one more certificate and then I'm ready. Maybe that guy mentors me, then I'm ready. See, I'm not shaming anybody because I've been there. And that's when I realized that these people that I look up to, they have went through the same thing as well. They had their own fight with permission and whether to decide not to go with permission. And that's when I realized they all chose to go without permission. Shah Rukh Khan didn't move to Mumbai because somebody gave him the permission. He moved to Mumbai because he decided that he is going to be a superstar. So, following Shah Rukh Khan's footsteps, at 16, I decided that I am going to be a founder in influencer marketing. I'm pretty sure I know the spelling of that back then. But now I do. Because decisions compound faster than permission. Now, will decisions alone attract opportunities to you? Not really. You can decide something, but if you're not at the right place, then these opportunities might swing the other way. And that brings us to the next letter, O. And O stands for optimize for opportunity. See, this is another interesting concept that a lot of my mentors kept talking about, which I really didn't understand. Guys, opportunity is very, very lazy. Opportunity is very lazy. It doesn't care if you are the person with the most potential. It does not care if you're the most hardworking person in the room. It does not care if you're the most talented one. What it cares is how close you are to it. Proximity is what matters for opportunity. In other words, luck favors those who are prepared. So if you're prepared enough, if you take one step close to opportunity, opportunity favors you. But talking about luck, luck in Indian terms is magic. We all think luck just happens. But if you think about it deeply, luck is just probability. And that brings me to the third letter, O. Optimize for numbers. See, when I started my first company, I had absolutely no clue how to get a client. I had no clue how to maintain a client. I didn't even have a clue what to sell to them. But what I didn't know was I need a client, and I didn't have the credibility for it, but I still needed a client. So I went with what I can do, what is in my control, which is volume. I optimized for volume. I optimized for numbers. So when I started my first company, on the first week, I cold called 47 individuals from 47 different brands. 42 out of them did not pick up. 3 people picked up just to laugh at my face and hung up. In fact, one of them, I'm pretty sure, thought that I'm the Nigerian Prince Cab. But one person believed in what I had to say. He was the then CMO, now CEO of one of India's biggest education publishing platform. And that belief turned into the first campaign. And that campaign turned into my company. And my company then turned into running campaigns for 70 plus international brands. So I would like to quote the exact words of one of the most renowned philosophers and thought leaders of our generation, Mr. Michael Scott. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that's an office reference if you haven't gotten it already. If you talk about Michael Scott is a pretty successful person, right? He's very confident. In fact, if you think about it, every successful person you come across is very confident. And that's what we always hear, beta. Confidence थोड़ा बनाना चाहिए, हाँ? Confidence थोड़ा बनाना चाहिए. Confidence है तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं तुम लोग. You need to become confident. Then you will take action. Then you will succeed. Make a lot of money, life jingle ala. But I argue that confidence does not come first. In fact, I think confidence is the byproduct. In fact, indirect byproduct of action. And that brings me to the fourth letter, R, which stands for reverse confidence. See, when you take action, you get proof or evidence, and the accumulation of proof and evidence manifests as confidence. The first time I walked into a client meeting, I was scared. I was sweating from places that I shouldn't talk about right now. The first time I got on stage, I was scared. The first time I took classes for students, I was scared. But I did survive. And that is a proof that I can get through hard things. That is an evidence that I'm okay. So the second time I tried the same thing, I survived again. And one more proof clicked in. Over time, over trials, these proofs kept accumulating, and it ended up manifesting as confidence. And this is something my mentor always tells me. If you're waiting to feel confident before you start, you will be waiting forever. Every single startup founder, every single creator, every single genius that I've had the opportunity to talk to, they have all started something without feeling 100% confident. But they iterated on the journey, and then confidence followed. Now you'll be thinking, Pranav, you've sort of explained us the basics. Thank you so much for that. But you still haven't gotten to the point where you tell, how do you build a door that sort of opens up to opportunities? You know, like the Doraemon's magic pouch. And this is what I asked my mentors as well. And they said this last point, which is S. Stack the materials. See, any door around you can be built, basic door can be built with 3 materials. Similarly, a door that opens up to opportunities can be built with 3 materials. First one, skill. You should be really skilled at something you're really passionate about. Now, I'm not saying be skilled at the most high-paying job out there. That's not what I'm saying. If you're skilled at something you're really passionate about, that can be high-paying. You can be the best singer in the room. You can be the best dancer in the room. You can be the wonderful MC. You can be the best software engineer, influencer marketer. You can be the best financial analyst. God knows you can be the best cupcake eater, man, and you can make a living out of eating cupcakes and reviewing it. And you will make millions. So you need a skill that you're really passionate about. Next comes visibility, the second material. Because if you have a skill, but you do not have visibility, might as well not have the skill. No one knows about it. You keep it with yourself. You protect it. Might as well not have it. And that is why we always encourage people to post on LinkedIn, document your journey, talk to people about how your skill can help them. Mail that mentor that you always wanted to talk to. Now, the most important aspects of stacking these materials is the last material, and that is action. Action to build that skill, action to build visibility, action to stay persistent and consistent, and action to be absolutely shameless to succeed. Now, it's very crucial that you stack these materials. There's a reason why it's called stacking these materials. Because if you're good at 2 of them, then the third one fails and you're not there yet. All of this is interconnected. Because skills without visibility stays hidden. Visibility without skills collapses. And action without either just burns out. And that, my friends, is the doors framework. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if you follow this framework, you will be the richest man on earth. Because if that's the case, I'll be going home in my Bugatti. But I'm going home in an auto rickshaw. But I'm telling you all of this based on being in rooms that I shouldn't have been in. Based on talking to people that most of us don't get access to, based on seeing how opportunity manifests. And let me tell you, my friends, opportunity does not chase potential all the time. But what it does chase is doors that that is built by deciding without permission, by standing closer to opportunity, doors that are built by playing the numbers long enough, doors that are built by acting before confidence shows up, doors that are built by stacking skill, visibility, and action every single day. Now, you'll be thinking, wow, Pranas, that's very, very motivational. Thank you so much. I don't know, man. I I don't think I'm good enough. I genuinely don't think that opportunity is going to knock on my door. Opportunity knocks on everybody else's doors, but not mine. And I get you. I get you because I was at your place. And that is the reason why I started with this man. And he is the reason why I'm giving this talk. Because he had this wonderful quote which says, by the way, his name is Milton Ball. He is one of his generation's best comedian and actors. And he had this wonderful quote which said, if opportunity doesn't knock, then build the door. Thank you.